Minister, almost 480,000 people in our state received the pandemic unemployment payment yesterday. That's over 480,000 people who have lost their jobs through no fault of their own. For every one of those workers, while their outgoings and their bills remain the same, some are even higher because they are spending more time at home. In many cases, their income has been reduced. And the only new message from this government for those people on the PUP who have lost their jobs, the only new message from your government is that they'll be receiving a tax bill. That's all they've heard from this government. And in some cases, that tax bill will be up to €1,400. Last autumn, I carried out a survey in relation to household debt, and over 300 people of the respondents shared their stories with me. And this is what some of them told me. Lost all of my work and struggling to pay household bills, had to borrow money to pay some bills. Unable to manage higher bills like electric, and now coming into winter, fuel costs, as on a lower income with PUP. Now looking at services that can be cut. Shopping on a weekly basis is gone, as we don't have it, as bills come first. I'm trying to keep things together for the sake of my family. I cry most nights going to bed, so my son and husband don't see how much of a toll it is taking. Both of us are out of work. The price of utility bills keeps rising. I had to take unpaid leave from work as creches couldn't take my baby, so we are struggling now with just one income. This is the real-life reality for people on the pandemic unemployment payment today. And your response in your amendment to this motion is that you're getting the PUP, then you talk about the fuel allowance and the household benefits, the very payments that these people on the PUP are not getting, hence the entire purpose of this motion. You then go on to speak about the North, and it reminds me of when I was in primary school, probably in junior or senior infants, and I was arguing with a girl in my class about which one of our fathers had more cattle and going through how many animals each of us had. I spoke to my friend last night in the north of Ireland. She lives there with her partner. They pay about €5 a week in electricity, and they wouldn't be skimping on it. Her car tax costs £20 a year. You cannot compare fuel costs in the north of Ireland with down here. There's no comparison. The cost of living down here is extortionate for families and for those who have lost their jobs. And it turns my stomach to see comparisons made to the north of Ireland, where last week our minister introduced COVID heating payments, one-off payments of £200 to people struggling in fuel poverty in the north of Ireland. That is what we are doing. And in down here, you're offering nothing new in this motion in your amendment at all. And what we are asking for in relation to this motion is action from government. And that means a double payment for 2 weeks in February, as has been done before when we've had extremely cold weather. It's not impossible, it's been done. It'll cost £20 million. It will not break the bank. We're looking for a proper budget for the exceptional needs payment, which you constantly say is an option for people. Of course, we know it is an awful lot harder now to get to your community welfare officer, and we also know that not everyone is comfortable going down through that route, and there is always discretion when it comes to the community welfare officer, so there was no guarantee of payment. I've asked you several times in relation to the 15-month rule. If I lose my job tomorrow, I get nothing as regards fuel assistance for 15 months. Twice you said you've looked at that, and I've got nothing back. I'm asking for that rule to be suspended, temporarily suspended, for these people who are losing their jobs and in some cases losing everything they've ever had in relation to work. I've asked you to extend the fuel allowance to PUP recipients. There's a few weeks of the fuel allowance left. Yes, it might be extended. It is a measure you can take tomorrow to help these workers and their families. And I'm asking you to introduce a discretionary fund of €5 million. This is not an ask from me or Sinn Féin. This is an ask from the National One-Parent Family Alliance. You and your government think you are doing enough. Spark, One Family, St Vincent de Paul, Focus Ireland, 10 organisations who are on the ground and who are helping people day in or day out. They beg to differ, and they're saying what's there is not enough. And that is the message that I am getting across to you today. It is not enough, because government is about choices, and you choose to pay super junior ministers increases. You choose to give the head of the Department of Health an increase. And what you should be choosing is to help these families who are struggling in the midst of a global pandemic. And your message in this amendment is nothing. It's nothing new, just a tax bill, nothing more. Gur maith agat.